Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another video, and in today's video I'll be showing you how I made this kimono that I'm wearing. Yes, this is my first attempt, and stick with me to see how I made this. So if this is your first time here, thank you so much for tuning in, and please do consider subscribing, leave me a comment, like, just do it all for the algorithm. And without wasting much of your time, let's get right into the video. So to make your kimono, you're going to take your fabric and fold it in half. Fold it in half like this, and then fold it again like so. So you want to make sure that everything is nicely aligned from top to bottom. Okay. So when you fold it, your fabric, you have first layer, 2 layer, and this double layer that is on fold. So that's how you fold the fabric. And what you're going to do is, what I am going to do is, I'm going to grab some pins, pin everything in place so that the fabric doesn't move. I'm working with a chiffon fabric, and it's super light and it just moves around easily. So just pin it in place. So what I am going to do is, I am first going to draw a baseline before I mark anything on my fabric. And then after you've drawn your baseline, what you're going to need is to mark the bust line on your fabric. So the bust line is the length from your shoulder to your nipple. So I'm just going to mark that right now. I'm just going to measure 22 centimeters. So that's my 22 centimeter mark. And then the next line you're going to measure is the under bust line. So that is from the shoulder up to below the bust. And for me, that's 27. And then you're also going to measure the hip line. So that is from your shoulder up to your hip. And for me that's 54. So we're just going to come down to 54. Now we move on to marking our actual measurements. So the first measurement that you're going to mark is the bust measurement. So you're going to measure your bust, and for me that's 80, but because our fabric is folded 4 times, we're going to divide that measurement by 4. So for me it's 80 divided by 4, which is 20, and I'm going to add 5 centimeters for allowance, because this is going to be a free kimono. So I'm just going to come down to the bust line, measure 20 centimeters for the actual size, and then I'll add on 5 for allowance. So the 5 centimeters that I'm adding, it's not fixed. You can add whatever allowance you want. So for me, I'm just going to add 5 centimeters. So I'll come and mark here. And then we're going to come down to the under bust measurement. So for me it's 72 divided by 4. So 72 by 4 plus 5, that's 23. So we'll come down to 23 and mark that in place. Now that we've marked that, the next measurement that we're going to insert is also come down to the hip line. Hip measurement, divide that by 4, and then you add on your allowance. So I'm just going to add that 96 divided by 4 plus 5, that's 29. So I'll come and measure 29 centimeters on this line here. And then I'm going to move on to the sleeving. So this kimono, I'm going to make the sleeve attached to the kimono. What am I saying? So the sleeves are going to be attached to the front piece of the kimono. So you're going to come to your baseline and then you're going to measure your shoulder length. So I'm just going to measure that, my shoulder length. So I'm just going to put in the mark here. 12 centimeters. I'll just put a mark. That's my shoulder length there. And then what I am going to do is I am going to extend, I'm going to put in the sleeve length. So I want my sleeve to be 53 centimeters. So I'm just going to mark that 53 centimeters from the shoulder point that we've marked. 53. And now for you to get, we're going to insert the measurement for our sleeve, the round sleeve. The measurement for the round sleeve, going around like that. But you're going to divide your measurement by 2. So mine, I'm going to 22 divided by 2, that's 11, and I'm going to add 4 centimeters allowance, so that's 15. So you're going to come from your baseline, put your tape on your baseline and just measure 15. Now these are my measurements, so that's 15, and I'm just going to mark that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to extend from the hip line going downwards. I'll just insert the length of my kimono, the full length of my kimono. So I had already cut off the excess fabric on this yesterday when I was doing some prep work. So I'm just going to draw a straight line for the purpose of cutting, but I am not going to trim the bottom part because I already did that. So remember the last line we added for the round sleeve, what you're going to do is you're going to extend that line and connect it with the point we marked on the bust line, the under bust, as well as the hip line. So I'm just going to do that right now. So with this, you would have succeeded in life if you want a kimono. So now we're going to move on to, let me actually cut off this fabric. So we're just going to cut this, and then we'll move on to working with the neck. So I'm just going to put one piece on the side, and I am going to work with the big piece first. What you're going to do is you're going to grab your tape measure and you're going to go back on your baseline. So for the back, for you to cut out the neck, you're going to insert the back neck width. So for me, I'm going to put in 20, but I'm going to divide that by 2 because obviously the fabric is on fold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I am going to measure 10 centimeters, and I'll just mark that. So this 10 centimeters is for the back width. Measure that. Okay. And then for the depth of the neck, I want it to be 5 centimeters. So you're going to come to your baseline, and what you're going to do is you're going to measure 5 centimeters downwards. And you're just going to insert that. Mark. So I'm just going to draw out a curve connecting these 2 points so that I can cut it out, because I want it to be a round neck. So now I'm working on the front piece. So the neck width, once again, for the front piece, it's still 20, and I'm just going to divide that by 2 and mark the 10 centimeter point. So note that the back and front neck width is always the same. So we'll just mark our 10 right here. Okay. Now the only difference is with the neck width. So I want the depth of my neck on the front piece to be 20 centimeters. So just come to the baseline, measure 20 centimeters, and mark that as well. So the depth of your neck on the front side is definitely according to what you prefer. There's no standard size for these things. So once I have that, just going to connect these 2 lines. So I want the neck to be V-shaped. So what you do is you're just going to draw a line from this point to this point. And I'm just going to mark it before cutting. Now we can just cut that piece off. Done with cutting. Now we need to move on to stitching, but before we do that, as you can see, this is closed up. I need to open it up for the sake of this kimono. Otherwise, if I don't, it'll turn out to be something else, which I do not know. So I'm just going to pull this up a bit and then cut this open. So what I've done is I've laid the back piece with the right side facing me, and then I grabbed one of the front pieces and I laid it with the wrong side facing me, and I'm just going to pin this in place, take the second piece, pin it in place, and go over to the sewing machine. So I have joined all the pieces of the kimono, and for you to do this, you're just going to use a basic straight stitch, and always remember to back stitch at the beginning and at the end of your project so that you secure the stitches. So now I'm going to move on to attaching the belt. I don't know what you call it, but that goes from here. You'll get it. Okay. So I did some prep work yesterday, and this is the belt. So what you're going to do is, depending on how wide you want this to be, so this actually goes around your kimono, like to close off the raw edges. So with the kimono also, what you're going to do is you're going to measure the full length of your kimono to get the band size. So what I'm saying is, so this is one end of the kimono, so you're going to measure all around like this, your neck to the other shoulder, all the way down to the other end. So I have my band here. So what you do is, once you have the band length, the width depends to your preference. You sew one end, both ends shut like this, and then you just turn it in this way. So now we want to attach this band onto the kimono so that we close up these raw edges. So in order for us to do that, you're going to grab your band. So you're going to mark the length for your hem at the bottom. So I just marked 5 centimeters there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and place the band on that 5 centimeter mark like this, and then I'm going to grab this one end of the band and I'm going to attach it onto the one side of the kimono. Secure it in place with your pins right round the kimono like so. I'm just going to do a basic straight stitch, and then I'll come back and show you how to finish this up. So I have attached one side of the band together. So now, in order to secure the other piece, this is what you're going to do. So this is the edge of the bottom part of your kimono. So this width that we left for hemming the bottom part, we're just going to fold it in. So fold it in like this, and then you're just going to flip it in like this, and it will rest on the hem of the two pieces we joined together. So it should look something like this. Okay, so when you do that, so you're going to fold this in, and then you're going to open up your case like this, and you're going to flip it in so that it rests on the hemline. This our hemline, that's where it will rest Let me secure that with a pin. Okay, so it's like that. And then this, the other piece of the band will come and sit on top of it like this. So you should have something like this. But then because we need to hem the bottom part, you're just going to, let me remove the pin a bit. You fold in, fold in before you attach that, so that when you're done sewing, it looks something like this. So I'm done attaching the band as well as hemming the bottom. Now for the sleeves, I want them to have this turn up look. So what you're going to do is, first of all, you're going to measure the width of your sleeve. You know, after hemming, joining the two parts, for you to get an accurate measurement, you just measure the width of your sleeve. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab a piece of cloth. So now the width of your turn up, I don't know if that's the proper term, depends on your preference. So whatever your preference is, you're going to multiply that by 4, as you can see with mine. And then you're just going to fold it in half so that you have this, and then fold it again. So I've already ironed this up to make my life easier. So what you do is you're going to join these two pieces. So this inside part here, so hold your fabric with the raw edges upwards, and then you're just going to fold it towards you in half so that you join the two pieces together. Do a straight stitch. So after you've joined your cuff, whatever, this is what it should look like. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn your sleeve inside, no, the right side out, and then in order for this, my life to be easier, I just pass it through in here so that I know exactly where the turn is supposed to be. So once you have that, you're just going to grab, so this is for the sleeve and these are the raw edges of your turn up thingy. Okay, so join the two. To make this a bit clearer, the inside where you join the two pieces, the hemline, where the hemline is for the turn up should be facing the right part of your sleeve. And then you just join your two pieces together, stitch them together. So after you've joined up the two pieces together, they should look like this. So this is the inside of the sleeve. So what you're going to do is you're just going to pull down your turn up. This should be easy if you've ironed up the pieces before joining them. So this is what this looks like now, and you are done. I also made a tie strip because hashtag tie strips alive. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and do check the link in the description box to see how I made this bodycon dress that I'm wearing. And do come back next time. Until my next video, peace. I'm out.